Hey there guys, so I'm back with another movie review. Now, I'm going to be reviewing a movie which just came out yesterday, which I went to see today at the cinema. Now, I'm going to be reviewing this movie, Patrick. Now, if any of you guys haven't seen the trailer or haven't heard of this movie, it's a movie about a little dog called Patrick. It's like a 9, 10-year-old pug whose owner dies and gets adopted by its owner's granddaughter, basically, and it's a sort of a heartwarming comedy. It's a family film, and to be perfectly honest, guys, I went to see this movie not knowing what to expect. So many movies this year have been so disappointing, but I have to say, I was surprisingly happy with this movie. I mean, this movie put a smile on my face from start to finish. I thought it was funny. I thought it was really heartwarming. I thought that the dog was, it was a really well trained dog. Obviously, it has to be for the movie. I thought the whole cast did a good job. Like I said, it was funny. It was heartwarming. The acting was pretty good. It was very well paced. It didn't feel too long. Didn't feel too short. And to me, it was just a really fun family movie. Now, when I went home after seeing the movie, I immediately checked online to see what the general consensus was about the movie, and I have to say I'm very disappointed to learn that this movie's getting tore apart by critics. Rotten Tomatoes gave the movie something like 20%. Now, let's bear in mind that these are the same Rotten Tomatoes critics which gave Deadpool 2 an 83% rating. So, according to those same guys, man, Deadpool 2 has triple the ratings of this movie. More than triple the ratings. I mean, they gave Solo, I think, 70%. And that movie was absolute fucking trash from start to finish. They gave... What was it? They gave Black Panther 97%. I mean, those movies were just immature. They were CGI clusterfucks. They were so boring and so cliche. But a movie like this, a movie which is a nice, heartwarming family comedy, gets 20%. I really don't understand these critics. I really don't. And so let's talk about what I liked about this movie. Perhaps what I liked most about the movie is, thankfully, and I don't think I can say this about any other movie that's come out so far this year, there was no agenda in this movie. That's what I love so much about it. There was no social justice warrior crap. There was no virtue signaling, no forced diversity. There was no feminist bullshit, which really surprised me because, I mean, the majority of the cast of this movie is women. In fact, I gotta say that the women in this movie, and again, I can't really say this about a lot of movies that came out this year, they actually really seemed like they were enjoying themselves. When you're watching a movie usually, and when a movie is rushed on release, and when the movie is released not to entertain you, but in order to push a particular narrative, that movie, the actors involved in the movie, you can sort of tell when they're not enjoying themselves. They phone in their performance because they're really there for a paycheck. But I didn't get that vibe from this movie. The people involved in this movie really seemed as if they were passionate about it. In fact, there was a moment in the movie, there was one scene in particular where the lead character, the lead female, is going on a date with this guy. And he's this, handsome dentist guy. Interestingly enough, he's played by the same guy who played the main villain in the first Deadpool movie. I can't remember the guy's name. But, he was quite a good actor, and I gotta say that scene, it started out, it was a funny scene where she goes on a date with this guy, and it's like, he turns out to be a bit of an egotistical prick, and, they don't really get along, and they're really not compatible. And I thought that the movie was then going to try and push some feminist agenda. But thankfully, it actually handled and resolved the narrative in a much more mature way than I was expecting. Like, they meet up again later in the movie, and they agree to just be friends, and he apologizes for his behavior. She doesn't overreact to it, this, that, and the other. And it just turns out to be it was a mature way of handling the story. It was a mature way of handling the narrative. It wasn't a man-bashing narrative that we've seen from most of these kind of movies. in recent years. And I just thought that, like I said, it was handled really well. The movie was really funny. I mean, the animal humour with the dogs and the cats and whatnot was funny from start to finish. You know, it was really heartwarming, and this is the first film this year that I can really say that I had a smile on my face the whole way through, from start to finish. And I really liked the movie, and yeah, I really don't know what else to say about it other than I would recommend this movie to anybody. Again, there was no agenda. You know, there was no bullshit feminist push. There was no forced diversity. You know, it was just a real heartwarming family movie. So I would give this movie a solid 8 out of 10. And I really don't understand what the critics' problem is. So let me know what you guys think about this. This one was just a quick review, but thanks for watching.